Get back. We're not going. Get out of the river. Get out. Kai. Out. Come on. Let's go. This way. It's a sunny evening. We're just out walking the White Wally. And I thought I'd make a video. So it's now like the 8th of May or something. We should have already gone and come back from South America for the first 2 Enduro World Series rounds, which I was really looking forward to, but obviously they got cancelled or postponed. It was about this time that we should have been setting off to drive for the European leg of the season. What I thought I'd do in this video is break down and compress all the footage that I had from last year's EWS season with kind of like a little round out vibe to it, so give you guys a bit of an insight into how each round went, show you some footage that never made it into those videos last year, and just talk about like the EWS, because I'm like missing racing and missing riding properly, as I guess a lot of people are watching this video. So New Zealand, the first round was in Rotorua, which is a weird place because it just smells like rotten eggs, but Rotorua is one of the coolest places to ride a bike, and the dirt there is insane. The dirt is like hero dirt. If it rains, it's like the perfect tackiness to ride. It's got the perfect grip, and the trails there have been built so well. Really enjoyed that place. So ended up that round staying with Sharjah and Sam, and we had a hell of a good time. And obviously the first round in New Zealand is in Rotorua. There was a Crankworks event on as well, so there was heaps of other stuff going on. There was whip-off competitions. Dual slalom. It was kind of like a really cool event. So racing kicking off in New Zealand was a little bit strange because I was hoping to race in the main Enduro World Series category, but coming into that season I didn't read the rules properly, didn't collect enough points from the season before, because in 2018 I just did like a handful of rounds to dip my toe in the water kind of thing. Collected some points at some rounds, but they had all sorts of qualifier events going on after the 2018 season had finished. I didn't pay attention to, and obviously that shot me in the foot because I came into 2019 with not enough points to do what I wanted to do. So I had to race the first round in the EWS 100, which is a bit of a different category than the EWS. You still do all the same stages, but you're in a different category kind of thing.
What are you?
You know, I think I ended up having some good stages there. Ended up like 10th in the EWS 100, which I don't know if that's great or not. But if you put my time into the EWS, it would have been about 90th position, which was okay. I had no expectations coming into 2019. I was just kind of like, okay, it is what it is. We'll just see where we end up, and we'll use that as a benchmark for the year. So then the following day, like literally the day after the race finished, I had to get up at stupid o'clock, go to the airport at like 3 in the morning or something silly, to fly to Derby, Tasmania. The Derby's in Australia, little island off the like south coast of Australia. I've never been there, but again, it was such a cool place to go to ride and race mountain bikes. So we're in Launceston, Tassie.
Made it to Derby. Famous track up there. That is one entire rock slab. That white line in the woods. Big fucking snake.
I'm actually genuinely scared. I'm actually like consciously looking where my feet are going, and there are snakes here. Tiger snakes. Tiger snakes are in these woods. The town itself was really small. It was literally like, you know, a handful of houses, a coffee shop, a bike shop. But the whole place there was all like, it's all about mountain biking there. Some of the trails there are literally some of the best I've ridden. And the granite rock there is some of the grippiest rock you'll ever ride a bike on. Like, you could ride horizontal across a rock and you would have no problem committing, having confidence that your tyres would grip. So as far as racing goes,
So this is my pump. I'm going to carry that. It's my new CO2.
Again this weekend I'm racing the EWS 100 because I still don't have enough points to get into the EWS. I actually don't know anyone at this race in this category, so I'm just riding around all my own today. It was okay again, so I had a benchmark from the week before in New Zealand. Again, had no expectations, was just treating every round as it came. Had some good stages, had some crashes on others. bent a brake lever on a stage, so bit of a bummer. Again, I was in the EWS 100, but if my time was pooled into the big category, it was like 80th position or something. So that was an up from the week before, so I was happy with that. So the next round, round 3, was in Madeira in Portugal, which isn't in mainland Portugal. It's actually a tiny island off the coast of Africa. Say it again, one of the best places I've ever ridden a mountain bike. It is like Jurassic Park. Some of the best riding you'll ever do in the world is on the island. Really, really good writer riding. And as far as racing goes, I was starting to feel comfortable. It was the 3rd round. I'd started to figure out and learn from the people I was with how to actually race these things. So I travelled there with Jack Redding, and we stayed together, and then met up with Matty Stuttard and Dan Wolf, obviously, and we had a good crack.
Do you think anyone's gonna just like go and try to get their front wheel past that knuckle and then fucking end their life?
It looks nice. As we all know, nice is a very descriptive word.
Oh!
Had a good laugh, and then we went bike racing. So Madeira again had some mixed stages, some really what felt like good stages, and then some stages where I felt a little bit tentative because I wasn't running like inserts in my tyres, so I was a bit like cautious that I was going to get punctures and all sorts. So I think I finished that race in like 72nd place. So again, that was an improvement on the previous rounds that we'd done, giving me more confidence and like actually understand how to race these things.
Backflip here. Woohoo! Go on, Alex. Whoa!
So the 4th round after Madeira, we went to Canazei in Italy. Canazei was another place that I'd never been to before, right underneath the Dolomites, which was really cool to race a bike there. So Canazei was like a really physical race. Like it was only a 1-day race, so I maybe got lulled into a false sense of security that it was going to be easy, but it was far from it. It was real physical. First stage felt like my arms were going to bloody blow off handlebars. Like it was rough, as in like the track was really, really physical. Had some okay stages that race as well. The last stage was like a 15-minute monster.
Where's Kai standing?
My crotch. Made a couple of mistakes on that and rode a little bit too cautious, which showed in the results, and ended up at that race like 95th or something. So it wasn't the greatest result to date, but I was still learning. And after the Canazei, we packed up and we went to Les Orz in France, which is the week after. That's Kai barking at another dog. And on the way there, this happened. We're at a toll pass. Come and look what's happened to my bike. Barriers closed on my bike. Just somehow my bike managed to get jammed underneath a toll barrier, and it like shut the whole toll gate down, which was kind of entertaining. So Les Orz was a place that I don't think the EWS has actually been there before. It was real like raw mountains, like really rough, proper French alpine style riding. So France was a 2-day event. Rode the first day kind of okay, kind of held back a bit in a lot of the stages, and then on the Sunday ended up having to pull out the race because basically severed one of my brake hoses. So I was riding down the track wondering why my back brake wasn't working, and at the same time I was getting sprayed on my leg with oil. Anyway, I had to pull out the race because I couldn't get the brake fixed fast enough, but ended up salvaging the situation, grabbing the big camera and getting some videos of everybody else riding.
Yes, yes, yes.
So next round was in Canada, so we flew over to Whistler in Canada, which is always amazing to go over there. Like there's so much riding over there. It's kind of like the Mecca. Everyone goes there every year to ride the bike park, to ride the area. Like you just want to do endless laps of the bike park stuff, like Dirt Merchant and all the jump lines, and then all the stuff on Blackcomb, all the proper mountain biking, single tracks and stuff. It's awesome. So I've never raced in Whistler before, and again it was a 2-day race. First day we raced down top of the world. What's the crack?
It's all good right now. Can't really see much, but you know.
We're supposed to be going up here. Currently they closed, well they did close the lift because of thunderstorms and lightning. But now it looks like, fingers crossed, they've reopened the lift and we can go back up. The fuck is going down if I'm on it. We come up here the other day and it stopped and I was like, holy fuck,
Yeah, this is a gnarly chair.
I know.
The top of the world run was like a 20-minute race run, which was brutal.
That stage went quite well. That was the only stage on a Saturday and ended up like 60th or something on that stage, or so. That was quite good. I feel like I always do, in most cases, do better on the longer stages. I feel like I can get into the track and actually get into the flow of things and like attack in certain places and be consistent for the rest of it. And then overnight on Saturday night, it absolutely pissed it down.
Give me it, Mops. Give me it, what's today going to be like?
Today's going to be a 7 out of 7 spicy with a dash of 3 out of 4 fun. Pretty much, it's just going to be fucking rowdy.
Nobody knew what the tracks were going to ride like because we'd all practiced and ridden in the dry.
I imagine that you feel pretty at home being a British rider. Although the sun is coming out, so this is going to switch things up a little bit.
Oh yeah, and no one's practicing the wet, everyone's practicing the dry, so it's going to be completely clean slate for everyone. I think it's going to be completely different to what we practiced in.
It was pretty wet, but pretty grippy at the same time. Like it was just all the things that were in the middle of the dirt that weren't grippy. So the roots were, and the rock was ridiculously slippy.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good stuff. The dirt was real grippy.
Yeah? But not the roots.
I mean, I thought the stages just got better and better throughout the second day. Fucking hell. Fair play, bro. How you going?
Too tired.
Fair play. I got a lot of respect for you.
Well, again, it was slippy with all the bits in between the dirt.
Let's go now! Let's go! Go, pedal!
Come on, you got this! Come on, Alan!
And there's a couple of points in that stage where, like, literally around the first left-hand corner, I leant it over into a turn and ended up like with my knee in the floor but still riding my bike, and then rode that out and I was a bit puzzled as to why I hadn't crashed.
How did I survive that? My knee was on the fucking floor. I think I was like 50th, you know, mid-50s on one of the stages there, which was a really technical, soaking wet, rooty trail, which I really do like. That was pretty cool. I think I was 65th in Whistler. I think I was 65th in Whistler, or 60 something, which was an all-time, like that was my best result. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Took that confidence and then we went on to North Star in California.
Lovely Tuesday morning. We're in California, and last night we stayed at Heather's house, who is the, hopefully I don't butcher this as well, which is the market manager for WTB, or Wilderness Trail Bike. And today we're driving Nope. And we're going to North Star. Honey, I'm home!
Ooh, it's automatic seat adjustment.
Dan! Dan! Wolfie! We'll leave without you! Dan! It's Wednesday morning and I'll show you the difference between a top 23 Enduro World Series rider and a top 62nd Enduro World Series rider. A top 23 rider gets a map and draws on the map all the stages.
And has Special K for breakfast.
And has Special K for breakfast.
That is a fucking unit.
Nice.
Dust anyone? Dust. 0 calories, high in fibre, dust.
It was really dry, really hot, really high up in the mountains. Like you could actually feel the altitude when you were at the top of the stages, which was a very different experience. And there was not one drop of moisture in the dirt whatsoever. So it was literally just like riding in a cat litter tray. It was just dust, like just bone dry dust, like knee-deep dust literally in some places. And it was really awkward because it was just like riding on a beach kind of thing. So you couldn't see, it was pretty much just rocks and dust. But you couldn't make out the rocks, you couldn't see the rocks. So that's what made it really technical in that respect. It wasn't really a technical, you know, technical like riding in like rooty wet conditions like you would here in Scotland. But it was technical in the fact that you were trying to go fast, you had no idea what was underneath your wheels, and it was kind of just a really weird feeling. I think a lot of people struggle with getting used to the feeling of your bike literally just like shifting underneath you. It was kind of a very, very strange feeling. And a lot of the American riders did amazing there, obviously, because that's what they're so used to riding. But there were a lot of riders from Europe and even the UK actually, who I would have thought they would have done better at these races, but I guess they literally just couldn't get to grips with the conditions. I think I ended up going through about 3 or 4 rims over the weekend. Fucker. Just from smashing into rocks. And I don't think I was actually running inserts those races. Again, that's a bit of a downside of things. I actually have rim packed inserts in now, which I'll put a link to in the description below. If you've not got a pair, you can get 10% off using a code Wolfpack10, I think it is. So there were some gnarly stages in North Star, like some of the toughest stages I've ridden on a bike.
That was crazy.
Technical, but in a different sense, like I was saying. Really challenging. Again, finished that race. That was a hard race just because of the altitude and how dry it was and the conditions, and was 65th there. So that was kind of consistent. That was the same result I got at Whistler, and I was just like, yep, thumbs up. Came away from the 2 American and Canadian rounds with 65th, so overall happy with that. Then it was time to go to the last race of the season, which was in Zermatt in Switzerland. So Zermatt was another place I've never been to in Switzerland, which was pretty awesome. So we got to the campsite in Tasch, which is just below Zermatt. Zermatt's a car-free city, so you can't take your petrol, diesel cars, whatever there, so that's my accommodation for the night. How you doing?
Doing yourself, man.
You look very brown.
Do I?
Yeah.
Obviously been paying off all the lying on the beaches I've been doing.
Very cool, iconic place. Give me some stats on the Matterhorn.
Well, it's the only horn that matters. It's a unit like mutt. It does well in the cold, and it has 7 nipples.
There was all sorts of like really weird tunnels to get up the mountain, like trains that go in the mountain basically. Real cool trains, really cold inside, and you come out and you're just in this like amazing scenery and really cool trails. So we rode some of those trails, then we practiced for the race, which Zermatt was like a really technical in a different sense than most of the places we'd race. Like, oh man. Yeah, really exposed is probably a good way of describing it. So as far as racing goes, if you're honest with you, I made a video in Zermatt. I basically didn't do a very good job of it because I was burnt out. Like, you can even see it in the video, I look tired when I'm talking to the camera, I look drained, and that is literally just the whole season of just coming down, and like, I just literally wanted to get through the race in Zermatt, finish it, go home and call 2019 done for a season. Had a number of little mechanicals that race, so I had a tyre that kept going down, like the tubeless ended up failing, so my tyre keeps losing pressure. And oh fuck, that's a new one. I had to put a tube in, which was a nightmare because then I ended up puncturing, I think I ended up puncturing a rim as well. So then I was trying to ride the last 3 stages of the race with just a tube in. So obviously I was riding quite tentatively just to make sure that tube stayed up. And as soon as I finished and crossed the line, I was just done. I didn't even care what position I finished in. I think again, it was like mid 90th position or something. So it wasn't the greatest result that I had in the year. But all things aside, you know, it was a really good race, and I was looking forward to going back there in 2020, but unfortunately with this lockdown, that's probably not going to happen. But I'm sure it will be on the calendar in the future, and I can't wait to go back there again. So yeah, in terms of overall standings, if you go onto my EWS rank, in my Enduro World Series rank, sorry, it actually says that I'm ranked 119th in the world or something coming into 2020, which is kind of cool. But I didn't pick up any points in the first 2 rounds when I was racing in the EWS 100. So I actually did some maths and worked out what my average position was over the stage that I did collect points for, and then I gave myself that average result at the first 2 rounds to see where I potentially could have ended up. I think it was around 70th-ish position. So, you know, I'm kind of on pace to where I want to go with this racing Enduro World Series stuff, like, and I was actually feeling at my fittest and my strongest coming into the season into 2020. But unfortunately, as the world is in its current weird state, doesn't look like we're going to be doing much racing, at least towards the end of the year and such. So it is what it is, but it was a fun year last year, and I wanted to put this video together mainly because I've actually started to miss racing quite a bit at the minute. Obviously the riding we're doing now is really mellow, it's not proper full-on riding and racing, can't go to the gym and train, so I'm missing that a lot. And yeah, I mean, so that was just kind of like this video. I wanted to put a video together that brought back memories of last year and reignite the fire for when we can go back racing. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, give us a thumbs up, get yourself subscribed so you don't miss any future videos, and if you've got any recommendations for video ideas, we're always on the hunt for those. Let me know as well if you do want to race Enduro World Series, like if you've done, you know, if you do race Enduro World Series or you want to race Enduro, whatever, let me know in the comments below. Wherever you are, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great day.